Namaskaram friends. So in this video, I am going to talk about 5 important issues related to current affairs. Okay, and these issues are: first one is gallium, okay, material with the help of which we make our semiconductor. Second one is SWIFT, a financial transaction mechanism, or you can say financial messaging app. Okay. Third one is HIMARS. It is you can say ammunition. You can say it is a military equipment used in warfare. Okay. Next one is cluster munition. And next one is inflation and unemployment. Okay. So these are topics of discussion of today's video. And very briefly, we are going to talk about gallium, SWIFT, HIMARS, cluster munition, and inflation. Okay. So let's start our first topic called gallium. What is gallium? See, gallium is a chemical compound which you can very easily locate in our you can say periodic table, and it is used in the manufacturing of semiconductor. So gallium is used to make gallium arsenide. Okay, this gallium is used to make gallium arsenide, and which form the core substrate for semiconductor. Gallium arsenide form a core substrate of semiconductor. We know that nowadays semiconductor are used in every, you can say in every electronic gadget, in mobile, in computer, in you can say in sensors, everywhere semiconductor are used. So semiconductor, the core substrate of semiconductor is gallium arsenide, and gallium arsenide is made, made from the gallium, okay, which is a chemical component. In this picture, you can clearly see uh, the base of this wafer is gallium arsenide. Okay, or you can say here you can clearly see base of this wafer is gallium. This black one is a gallium arsenide. It is a base of N wafer, and wafer is substrate of semiconductor. These gallium are used to manufacture semiconductors wafer. This gallium arsenide is used to manufacture semiconductor wafers. And these semiconductor wafers are utilized in integrated circuit, which we use in our electronic gadgets, mobile, satellite communication in the form of chipset, and in the LED in displays. Okay, so in display we use LED, where we see semiconductor wafers. In satellite communication, we see in the form of chipsets, we see semiconductor wafers. In mobile, we see semiconductor wafers, and in integrated circuit, we see electronic semiconductor wafers. So remember the important areas: integrated circuit, mobile, satellite communication in the form of chipset, and LED in the form of display. It also used in automotive and lighting. Automotive, like you can say car, bike, okay, buses. And for sensors in avionics, like in aeroplane and other avionic vehicles, it is used in the form of sensors. It is used in space and in defense system. So other important areas: space, defense system, avionic instrument, and in automotive and lighting. Next one is what is vapor. Basically, in this point, I talk about what is vapor. In electronics, a vapor is a thin slice of semiconductor. Vapor is a thin slice of semiconductor, such as crystalline silicon, used for the fabrication of integrated circuit. This vapor is used for the fabrication of integrated circuit. If we want to form an integrated circuit, so vapor fabricate that integrated circuit. And in photovoltaics to manufacture solar cells. It is also used in photovoltaics to manufacture solar cells. Okay. So these vapors are also used in photovoltaic cells, which are used for solar panel. The wafer serve as a substrate for microelectronic devices. Okay. It is wafer serve as a substrate for microelectronic devices built in and upon the wafer. So these microelectronic devices are built on this wafer, and it provides a substrate for that small devices. According to European industry body, okay, there is a body in Europe. According to that, Critical Raw Material Alliance (CRMA), according to CRMA, according to EIB, European Electronic Body, CRM में 80% of gallium production takes place in China. Okay, so gallium is a critical raw material, and in this alliance, European industry said that 80% of the gallium is produced by the China. So remember, China is a hub of gallium production, and gallium is used wafer, and wafer used in many different sectors, in avionics sector, in defense sector, in space sector, in our day-to-day lighting system, in our mobiles, in our LEDs. Okay, so these are important points. Just remember important keywords like gallium arsenide, wafer, semiconductor, areas, defense, space, automobiles, mobiles, and you can say LEDs. So this is the extract of this whole topic. Now let's move on to the second topic. And through this picture, you can clearly see sand. Through sand, silicon is made. Through silicon, we make wafer, and through wafer, we make chip. This is a picture of wafer. Okay, and it is a substrate of this wafer is gallium arsenide. This is a picture of chip. Okay, okay. Small, you can clearly see these are wafers. On the base of wafers, this chip is formed. Okay, so these are wafers. This is small dot one is a wafer. Okay, and this black one is gallium arsenide. And this is the whole thing we call as a semiconductor. So in this semiconductor, this one is a chip, this one is a gallium arsenide, and this one is a wafer. All things are connected. And you can clearly see in this picture a picture of gallium, the base. The main topic of today's discussion is gallium. This one is gallium. See, this one is a box. Through this, when you put this gallium on your hand, it looks like this. You can suppress it and make the desired product. Now let's move on to the next topic called SWIFT. Full form of SWIFT, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. The name suggests SWIFT, Society for Worldwide. Remember, and the international level, worldwide interbank, from one bank to another bank. Interbank financial telecommunication, related to finance telecommunication. That means a type of receiving and sending message or communication. So financial interbank. Okay, that means within that bank to that bank. See, bank A, bank B. So between the two banks, interbank, then worldwide, and then society. It's a society for worldwide interbank financial telecommunication. SWIFT is a messaging network that financial institutions use to securely transmit information and instruction through a standardized system of code. So with the help of standardized system of code, financial institutions securely transmit information and instruction. And this is with the help of SWIFT. So remember, SWIFT is a messaging network that financial institutions like banks and other bodies uses to securely transmit information and instruction through standardized system of code. Okay. Under SWIFT, each financial organization has a unique code which is used to send and receive payment. Okay. So each financial institution has a unique code under SWIFT. SWIFT does not facilitate fund transfer. Remember, very important point. It is just a messaging app. It does not facilitate fund transfer. Rather, it sends payment order, which must be settled by a correspondent account that is institutions have with each other. Okay, institutions have accounts with each other, so they settle their payment order with a corresponding account with the help of SWIFT, and it is not facilitating fund transfer. Remember, this is a very important point. The SWIFT is a secure financial messaging carrier. It is a secure financial messaging carrier. In other words, it transports message from one bank to its intended bank recipient. Okay, so it is a secure mode of transferring instruction, or you can say messages from one institution to another institution. It acts as a Gmail of global banking services. Very simple. In Gmail, we receive messages, we send messages. So SWIFT provides as a Gmail for global financial services, global banking services. SWIFT is founded in 1973 to end reliance on a telex system. In 1973, a similar type of system like telex system exists, which help in transferring message from one institution to another institution. So this SWIFT is founded in 1973 to end the reliance on telex system. Telex system is an international system used especially in the past for sending written messages. Okay, so telex system is used to send written messages in the past. SWIFT is founded in 1973 to end the reliance on telex system. Also remember that what is telex system is. Okay. Sending written messages. It is a member-owned cooperative based in Brussels. Okay, it is headquartered in Brussels and it is a member-owned cooperative. SWIFT is a member-owned cooperative. SWIFT India. What is SWIFT India? SWIFT India is a joint venture of top Indian public and private sector banks. Remember, top Indian public as well as private. Not public as well as private. It is a top Indian public and private sector bank and SWIFT. SWIFT India is a joint venture of SWIFT and top Indian public and private sector bank. And this SWIFT India, the company was created to deliver high quality domestic financial messages. SWIFT is for international and SWIFT India is for domestic purpose. So this company SWIFT India is created to deliver high quality domestic financial messaging services to Indian financial community. So for the Indian financial community, we made SWIFT so that secure transportation of telecommunication happen between one institution to another institution. Okay, so remember the important point related to this issue. SWIFT is an international worldwide interbanking financial telecommunications. SWIFT is we communicate with the help of SWIFT in the form of messages in a global level. It is a global Gmail for financial institutions, but SWIFT India is for domestic purpose. Okay, it is a joint collaboration of top Indian private and public banks as well as SWIFT. And SWIFT, not as well as SWIFT, top Indian public and private bank and SWIFT. SWIFT India is a collaboration of these two, and it is a messaging app which deliver which deliver secure message from one institution to another institution. Okay, and it replaces telex system which is earlier exist for sending and receiving written messages, and SWIFT replaced it in 1973. Now let's move on to the next topic. And through this picture, we can understand the role of SWIFT. Okay, this is a sender, this is a receiver. SWIFT is a payment control. It helps in sending message from one institution to another institution. Now let's move on to the next topic called HIMARS. What is the full form of HIMARS? High Mobility Artillery Rocket System. High mobility. Its mobility is high. Artillery device rocket system. Okay. So the US recently announced $800 million security assistance package to Ukraine. We know that war between Russia and Ukraine is going on. So in this situation, US recently announced a $800 million security assistance package to Ukraine. So US provide assistance to Ukraine in the form of security of the $800 million. This package includes additional ammunition for US provided. This package includes additional ammunition to US provided just Patriot air defense system and high mobility artillery rocket system. So HIMARS, Patriot air defense system and Howitzer are defense tool of the USA, and in the form of assistance, it provides additional ammunition to these devices, to these tools. And for the first time include dual purpose improved conventional munition or DPIC. And for the first time, USA used this dual purpose improved conventional munitions, or commonly referred to as a cluster munition. Okay, so Earlier, USA provided ammunition to Ukraine so that it can fight war with Russia. But first time it provided cluster munition in the form of security assistance. It provided additional ammunition for the Howitzer, HIMARS, and Patriot air defense system. But the first time it also provides cluster munition. What is cluster munition? Cluster munition is like when you launch cluster munition from a rocket, it go there, and from that cluster munition, many small pellets are in the range of, you can say, 2 dozen to 600 spreading here and there, and they are just blast. It blast earlier or on that spot or after that impact. Okay, so it has a 3 stages of, you can say, blast. So it is spread in large area because when you launch this cluster ammunition, it go into the air and small pellets are spreading here and there, and then blast take place. Okay, so it cover a large area, and it is a very, you can say, critical for the life of common citizen, because critical in the term, in the negative sense, not in the positive sense. Okay, it hampers, or you can say, lots of life are taken due to this cluster mutation, and many lives are. It is a life-threatening, you can say, device, and it created a havoc in the area where it was. Okay. So I show you the picture. Through that picture, you can understand about the cluster. Listen. Through this picture, you can clearly see. This is a picture of, I think, HIMARS. This is a picture of HIMARS. Okay. Or you can say military equipment, military vehicle. So here you can launch the rocket. I think I forgot. Yeah, no. This one is second topic, cluster munition. Okay. In this picture, you can clearly see cluster munition in the form of this. When this cluster munition, when you launch this, it will go like this. Small pellets are spreading here and there and cover a large area. Okay. So this is just about HIMARS. This topic is not about cluster munition. It is just about HIMARS. So see what HIMARS is, and it is made by the USA. So remember the important point. HIMARS is a military vehicle manufactured by the USA in the form of security assistance. USA gives this system to the Ukraine, and in the form of security assistance, it provided additional ammunition to these 3 systems like Patriot air defense system, HIMARS, as well as Howitzer, but also for the first time provided cluster munition, or simply called, or it is also, its name is dual purpose improved conventional munition. Now let's move on to the next topic called cluster munition. What cluster munition is? A cluster munition is a weapon that disperse or release explosive. Just a minute. Just a minute. I think some problem. Sorry for disturbance. Some problem is occurred in my system. So let's continue our discussion. Next one is called cluster munition. What is cluster munition? Cluster munition is a weapon that disperse or release explosive submunition. So cluster munition is a weapon that disperse and release explosive submunition. If munition is this, submunition is a small component of it. And this explosive submunition is small, unguided explosive. Okay, remember, an unguided explosive, not a guided explosive. It is small in size, unguided explosive, or bomblets. And so you can say weight of every bomblet, each and every bomblet is less than 20 kg. That are designed to explode prior to, on, or after impact. Okay, so these, you can say, these bomblets are designed to explode either prior to or on or after the impact, according to the Global Convention on Cluster Munition, CCM. It is a convention on cluster munition. According to it, bomblets are small explosive whose weight is less than 20 kg and that are designed to explode prior to, on, or after the impact. And a cluster munition is a weapon that disperses these bomblets. Depending on the model, the number of submunition dispersed or released by a cluster munition can vary from several dozen to 600. Like you can say 24 to 600, or yeah, 24 to 600. In the range of it, the number of submunition are dispersed or are released by the cluster munition. Okay, so remember its number is very high. If through a cluster munition you release 600 or let's say 400 bomblets, so it cover a large area, and its quality is that it is blast prior to or on or after the impact. That means if you launch it at that moment, it blast, or after the impact it blast, or before the impact it blast. Let's say ground is here, okay, and our target is to you can say destroy this to destroy this site. So if we launch it, some bomblets are, let's say, blast here in the air, some are on the ground on the target, and some are after the impact. Let's say after 1 year or 2 years, the explosion of that bomblet happened. Due to this, the some munition get dispersed over a large area because their size, their number is huge, remain unexploded for several years. Remember, the quality is prior to or on after the impact. So bomblets which are you can say blast after the impact that remain unexploded for several years and have caused significant civilian casualty as seen in Afghanistan and Iraq. And we see this example of bomblets, or you can say who blasted or who exploded after the impact in the country of Afghanistan and Iraq. And it also causes significant civilian casualty. So the CCM, the Convention on Cluster Munition, the CCM was adopted in Dublin by 107 states on May 30, 2008. So in 2008, 107 states adopted this CCM in Dublin and came into force as a binding international law on August 2010. Okay, so 107 countries signed this, and in 2010, signed in 2008, and in 2008, it became an international law, binding international law. Country who signed it, they have to bind to the rules and regulation of this convention. Okay, so remember, CCM is a binding international law, come into force in August 2010, and signed by the 107 states in 2008. So remember, binding international law. The convention prohibits all use, stockpiling, production, and transfer of cluster munitions. Okay, so the prohibition in this convention is its usage, its stockpiling, its production, as well as its transport. That means one country who signed this convention do not transfer cluster munitions from one country to another country, either not producing that munition or stockpiling it or using it for any purpose. To this date, a total of 123 states have joined the convention. Okay, 123 states joined the convention, 111 state parties and 12 signatories. Okay, in that 123, 111 are state parties and 12 are signatories, while 74 countries are not party to it. And in that 74 countries, major countries that manufacture and use cluster munitions are included. Okay, and this in that 74 country, important country who uses this cluster munition on a large scale are US, Russia, China, India, Israel, Pakistan, Ukraine, and most NATO countries. So the important countries who are using this cluster are not a party or signatory to this convention. So it is a, you can say, just a joke, right? Both Russia and Ukraine have used cluster munition in ongoing war. Okay, Russia is not signatory, Ukraine is not signatory to it. So this one, Russia and Ukraine uses this munition in that way. And USA is not also not signatory. If it is a signatory, it not transfer that munition to Ukraine, but it transfers because it is not signatory. Okay. So remember the important countries who are not signatory of it, and it is a, you can say, binding international law. That's why most of the countries are not, and it has to be binding because this is a case where if we are not binding, many countries just sign it and do not follow its rule and regulation. Okay, so see through this picture you can clearly understand about cluster munition, and these are bomblets. However, I talk about it. Okay? Munition is fired from the ground to air. Bomblets are released, and bomblets fall to the ground. Not all detonate immediately. Okay, some are may detonate before the impacting the ground. Some are on the ground, and some are after the impact. Or let's say several years they are not detonated. Last topic is inflation and unemployment. There is a trade-off. So you have to, if I summarize this, you have to remember the, it is a bind, remember points are, first one is it is a bind related to, you can say cluster elimination, it is a binding agreement. Till now, 123 countries are, you can say, parties to it. 111 are state party, 12 are signatory. Important countries like India, Pakistan, Russia, China, USA, Ukraine, and many NATO countries are not signatory to it. And yeah, its quality is it detonate before, on, or after the impact, and several human casualty or take place. And in 2008, a convention of CMM, convention on what is the name of the convention? CCM, Convention on Cluster Munition, 2008, 107 countries adopted it and came into force in 2010. Okay, so now let's move on to the next topic called inflation and unemployment. There is a trade-off between inflation and employment. How? Because when economy goes through a phase of high inflation, chances that the unemployment rate will fall. When inflation increases, chances of employment fall happen. Because when inflation increases, many companies in the lieu of profit, they hire many people to produce things so that they can sell that product on a higher cost. So when inflation increases, unemployment decreases. Because firms increased by higher pressure try to ramp up production by recruiting more people. When more people are recruited, unemployment decreases. And this happens when inflation is high. Generally, not in all the cases. High inflation may be robbing people of their purchasing power. Just if, let's say, one bread is, earlier I bought one bread in $8, now I brought the same bread in $20. So it robbing the purchasing power of the people. That means it costs more money from the pocket of the normal money, from the pocket of the human, not normal. It is also important to understand that monetary policy does not have a direct solution to controlling cost inflation. So to cost push inflation means inflation occur due to the increase in the prices of the product. So monetary policy are not directly controlling, because when the prices of anything increases, there is no role. Monetary policy doesn't do anything. Role of monetary policy is to, you can say, increase or decrease the demand. Okay, it does not you can say reduce the prices of oil. No, it may reduce the demand or increase the demand, but it does not directly play a role in controlling the cost push inflation. For example, it cannot make fuel prices lower by raising interest rate. If RBI or if it's central government increases the interest rate, many people deposit their money. So in the hand of people, there are less money. Okay, so they, you can say, reduce the demand. But let's say I have earlier $10,000, but now I have just $5,000. So it does not impact the prices of the fuel. Now prices of the fuel remain the same. Maybe my demand decreases, but the prices of fuel remain same. So costful inflation is not directly related to monetary policy of the central government. Okay, all it can do is to control demand in the economy. Yes, I talked about it. Okay, so through this picture, you can clearly see when inflation increases, unemployment decreases. When this one increases, this one decreases generally. So I hope you understand about employment inflation, cluster munition, uh, and then topics called high mobility artillery rocket system, HIMARS, about Swift, and then Gallium. Now let's solve 5 questions. Not summarize it, let's solve 5 questions based on these 5 topics. Okay. Through this, we revise our topic. Okay. So consider the following statement. First one is gallium is used to manufacture semiconductor. Yes. Gallium, through gallium we make gallium asteroid, no. I think arteroid. Through that we make wafer, and with the help of wafer we make semiconductor. So gallium is used in manufacture semiconductor wafers, utilized in integrated circuit, mobile and satellite communication. Here, this one is true. At present, more than 50% of gallium production takes place in the United States, no, in the China. So this one is wrong. Gallium is considered a technology critical element by industry experts. Yes, it is a technology critical element. So this one is also correct. So one is correct, three is correct. That means only two. So option B is correct. Just check we're on the right path or not. Option B is correct. That means we are on the right path. Now let's move on to the second question. Consider the following statement regarding SWIFT. It is a messaging network that financial institutions use to securely transmit information and instruction through a standardized system of code. Yes, SWIFT facilitates fund transfer. No, it will not facilitate fund transfer. It facilitates messaging. SWIFT India is a consortium of all India public sector banks, no, all India public as well as private sector banks. So this one is also wrong. So only option 1 is correct. That means only 1 is correct. Just check we're on the right path or not. Only 1 is correct. We are on the right path. Now let's move on to the next question. HIMARS, high mobility artillery rocket system, recently seen the newly developed by China. I'm sorry, developed by USA, because USA provide this instrument, this tool to the Ukraine in the for the ongoing fight war between Russia and Ukraine. So option C is correct. Just check we're on the right path or not. Option C is correct. We are on the right path. Now let's move on to the next question related to cluster munition. First one is a cluster munition is a weapon that disperse or release explosives submission like unguided explosive or bomblet that are designed to explode prior to, on, or after impact. Yes, absolutely correct. Convention on cluster munition is a non-binding. It is a binding. This one is wrong. India is a signatory. No, India is not a signatory. Major countries like USA, Russia, China, Ukraine, India, and Pakistan are not signatory or not a member to this convention because it is a binding convention and it prohibit usage, stockpiling, transfer of this. You can say cluster munition. So only 1 is correct. This means option A is correct. Now let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statement. When an economy goes through a phase of high inflation, there is chances that unemployment rate falls. Yes. High inflation will increase the purchase. No, it reduces. RBI monetary policy will direct? No, not a direct impact. It is indirect impact on controlling cost push inflation. It has a direct impact on, you can say, demand pull inflation, but not on cost push. So this one is wrong. This one is wrong. Only option A is correct. Just check we're on the right path or no. Only option A is correct. So we are on the right path. So I hope you enjoy this video, you love this video, and gain some perspective, some knowledge about it. And remember the keyword of the important topic which we are discussed today. First one is gallium. Then I think HIMARS. Then cluster ammunition, inflation and unemployment, and SWIFT. So remember these 5 keywords, and through this keyword you revise and remember what we taught today. So I hope you learned it, you enjoyed it. So keep learning, keep enjoying. Namaskaram. Thank you.